me to capital G here. It looks like Konami has finally done the unthinkable. They have freed the meme card of our dreams, and Pot of Greed is finally back in Rush Duels. Can't say I clickbaited you because technically the title is true. Pot of Greed will be playable in Yu-Gi-Oh! Just not in, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Form that we play, mainly in the TCG. Although, some people in the TCG play Rush Duels, but mainly it's just like an OCG type of thing. Pot of Greed, as you guys can see, is going to be coming to Rush Duels. This is by way of one of the Rush Duel video games that's coming soon, I believe for the Nintendo DS, or 3DS. Don't quote me on that. It could be a Switch game, but I think it's a 3DS game. Anyways, you guys are looking at 3 of the promo cards that are going to come out in that game, and yeah, Konami is hammering in that nostalgia. It's so incredible how Rush Duels basically has as much nostalgia baked into it as like the regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Physical TCG. Despite not being nearly as old, this thing has so many iconic cards from the DM anime. Also, despite having absolutely no connection to the DM anime at all, or really any anime as far as I can tell. Like, I don't think Rush Duels is connected to any of the other 6 Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series, and it has so many DM cards. You guys can see they're also getting Dark Magician Girl and Blue Eyes or Red Eyes and Dark Magician are all in Rush Duels. But yeah, Konami's still hammering in that nostalgia bait, and Pot of Greed is going to be the next entry in that, alongside, of course, the ultimate waifu in terms of fanfare and getting love in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. That would be Dark Magician Girl. Now, it is, Pot of Greed is going to be a legend card, which, if you just don't know anything about Rush Duels, other than the fact that their cards look way cooler than what we have in the TCG, and I'm still mad that they didn't change our cards over to this format with Rise of the Duelists. I digress, I'm getting off topic. Legend cards they're basically like S tier class in the Rush Duel format. So instead of having like a Forbidden and Limited list, Konami just puts what they believe are really powerful cards in the Legend class, and you only get to play 1 Legend card in your deck. Konami experimented with alternative formats like this way back in DM and stuff like that, but none of them really popped off. I think it actually is like a really cool format to just say like, look, these are, what we consider to be the quote unquote broken cards. You only get to play 1 of them in your deck, not 1 copy each, just 1 single one of those cards. And some of the other cards that I know a legend tier is like Genzo is a legend tier, Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, and Dark Magician are all legend tiers. So it also makes it so you can't really cross those, archetypes up. You basically have to commit to one of them. And I wonder if, Pot of Greed will be considered the de facto like OPOP among even the legend grade cards, because it has the same exact effect. Draw 2 cards. That's the same effect that the LOB version had, like, I don't know, 18 years ago, or it's 19 years ago when it was first released in like the TCG. So they haven't changed anything about the card, not the artwork, not the effect or anything, but obviously it is, essentially limited because you only get to play 1 copy of the Pot of Greed. Now in Rush Duel format, you also get to draw 5 cards, basically every single, turn. The turn player gets to draw until they have 5 cards in their hand. So most of the smart Rush Duel players will empty out their hand and then you get to draw 5. However, a lot of the cards are just ridiculously weak. I mean, this is an opening hand from the anime of one of the characters, and this is in like the latest episode. I mean, just look at this. Tell me this is not a hand from like from like the Duelist Kingdom arc. This dude has 2 copies of Pharaoh Imp and a summon skull. What year is this? What year is this where you're opening with 3 vanillas? Like, I mean, even Dino Rabbit would be like, damn, dude, I scoop if I open 3 vanillas. But yeah, this is like, I don't want to say that this is like a meta deck or anything, but this is what they're playing in the anime. So, I wonder if drawing 2 more cards to this hand would actually fix it. It would probably like just get them a couple more vanillas and not do that much. But yeah, Pot of Greed still, even in a format where you can draw 5 cards in a turn, drawing 6 is obviously going to be better. So, you know, I kind of wonder if maybe this will be the first card that ends up getting banned, because if everybody switches over to this card being their legend, you know, Konami has a long history of hitting cards like that, you know, everybody starts playing in the meta, whether it be Bottomless Trap Hole or Book of Moon, Compulsory Evacuation Device. They've done it numerous times in Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Magician Girl is really cool. I love the artwork of this Dark Magician Girl. The only thing that I will note, as I said earlier, Dark Magician is a legend card. So her effect is like, it's not going to be as strong as it is in like regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Or even Duel Links, because you can only run a single copy of Dark Magician. I think maybe they're still going for the whole, well, you can do it like Yugi did it in the anime, where he only had one Dark Magician in his graveyard. You know, his opponent, Arcana, happened to also have a Dark Magician. So, you know, technically you can get the boost of 600 if things work out perfectly for you, but it's not going to be like you ever getting her to 2900. I don't really see that being possible with that a max of like 2 Dark Magicians being playable in any given duel. But what do you guys think of this? This is really interesting, and it's kind of crazy just how much DM nostalgia they use in Rush duels. I think it's interesting because, you know, the game is marketed to like such young kids, and, you know, you kind of wonder, like, do these kids even know about some of like the older cards like Genzo and stuff? But if they've watched the DM anime even in their young age, I guess the answer to that would be yes. But it is really cool to see Pot of Greed being playable in some form of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I would imagine that it never came to Duel Links, or that if it did, it probably got banned very early. Anyways, whatever you guys think, you leave that in the comment section below. Pot of Greed is playable in some form of Yu-Gi-Oh! Thank you guys for watching as always.